Everyone always talks about the classic Disney films, but there are some other classics that no one talks about. And thanks to you people on Twitter, we are about to get into some Don Bluth action. Hello there, people of YouTube, and welcome to the Spikehead podcast for another movie review, where this one will be a flashback review, where I shall be talking about An American Tail, directed by Don Bluth, starring Phillip Glasser, Dom Delouise, Christopher Plummer, and Pat Musi. This film follows the Mouskowitz family, a Jewish-Russian family that flees Imperial Russian Ukraine to go to a better place that is the United States of America, where allegedly there are no cats, with a lot of subtext being emigrating to a better place, but that's something for a full discussion review that I will hopefully be doing during the collaboration later down the line. But during the trip, their son Fievel gets washed overboard. Pursuing death, the family continues on to America, but Fievel has actually survived going overboard and washes up in America in a bottle. And this whole film follows Fievel trying to find and rekindle with his family. Oh yeah, and spoiler alert, there are cats in America, and that's a whole other side plot. But before we begin, guys, if you do like what I do on this channel, feel free to hit that round subscribe button and drop a like. It would really help a lot. But without further ado, let's get right into this review. So let's start off with the big positives of this film. This film is heavy. This film is deep, and I mean deep. This is one of those films that treats kids like they're adults. But even as an adult, I noticed a lot more subtext within this film that I didn't notice when I was younger. This is a heavy film, but it is a very good film. Just the story of this little boy trying to find his family in a strange land that is America, and all the near misses along the way, and all the trials and tribulations that he goes through. This is not a hug and keep everything safe and warm film. This is a hardcore, heavy film, and only Don Bluth films can really get away with this level of heaviness. He's probably more well known for the Land Before Time film, but this film is just as heavy, and it is a film that's always stuck with me over the years. The character of Fievel, he is just like any kid would be. He's a mischievous little schemer. He gets lost in the first place because he decides to be a little bit cheeky, and that's how he gets washed overboard. And during his time looking for his family, he goes through a lot of, well, you know what. He goes through a lot. He gets sold to a sweatshop. I don't really want to go into the ins and outs of this film. I feel like there needs to be a full-on podcast discussion with this film, so I'll leave that until then. But the trials and tribulations Fievel goes through, you are rooting for him throughout. I also really like the character of Tiger. Tiger is a smaller character in this film. He's more predominantly featured in the later films, but in this one, when he shows up, he is a lovable goofball, and Dom DeLuise is always a brilliant voice performer. It's a shame that he is no longer with us, but Dom DeLuise is forever and ever living infamy within these films. Also, the songs in this are really good. There Are No Cats in America is a nice, fun little number. A Duo is a nice little song that breaks up the depressing tone of the film for that small little 2-minute period, and it's quite a clever, pleasant song. But of course, everyone remembers from this film the song Somewhere Out There, which is a powerful little number that is the highlight of the film, and is expertly sung by Peter Glasser and Betsy Cathcart. The funny thing is Betsy only voices Tanya for this one song. The rest of the film, Tanya is voiced by Amy Green. The only big shiny moment that Tanya has is voiced by an entirely different actor. And it's funny because this is Betsy's only credit on IMDb. And even Amy Green, this was her second to last performance. That is a crying shame. But it is still an iconic scene. So no matter how little there have been other films in Hollywood, this is one of those timeless little scenes that you can watch over and over and over again. I was also pleasantly surprised to find that Christopher Plummer is in this film as well. He voices the pigeon that brings Fievel's spirits up, because Fievel shows up in America. He's lost, he's stranded, he feels like he's never going to find his family again. But he's picked up by Christopher Plummer, and the Never Say Never song, that's a pleasant little jolly song. There's a lot of pleasant songs. I feel the songs are something that really help this film a lot, because this film is just depressing a lot of the time. So the songs really help to break that depressive tone that this film is carrying for most of its duration. Also, all the side characters are really good. Papa is a brilliant little character. He's such a fun, loving dad character. Tony is a fun little bit of comic relief in this film as well. I do very much enjoy him. And Bridget and Warren T. Rat are also very good side characters as well. This film is just filled with a nice, colourful cast to surround Fievel on his journey to find his family. I would say the only real negatives that I do have about this film is that it's a little too depressing at times. I can see why not everyone saw it as a kid, because this is a heavy film and a lot of families are going to be put off showing this to their kids because they just want their kids to think everything is sunshine and rainbows. This film never pretends to do that. I felt that's really entertaining. Also, there are times where it gets a bit silly about them not finding each other, because Fievel and his family cross paths so many times throughout this film, to the point where his family's at a rally and Fievel's on stage and they still don't recognise him, they still think he's dead. And it's just one of the most frustrating things about this movie. When they finally do find each other, it is brilliant, but all the times that they cross paths, it is frustrating. That's all I'll really say about that. It does its job, and it is a timeless classic, is An American Tail, and Fievel is such a good character to root for. All the side characters are really good. I'll say that overall, guys, An American Tail is a great cup of tea. So guys, An American Tail, have you all seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. And if you do like what I do on this channel, please feel free to hit that round subscribe button and drop a like. It would really help the channel a lot. But until next time, guys, it's that Spikehead Podcast signing off.